I'm Arindam. Welcome to my Light Worker channel. Today, I am going to present you an interesting topic in astrology, which is called meaning of the houses in astrology. We all hear that there is a Pratham Bhava, Ditya Bhava, or first house, second house. What is the meaning of that thing physically in the sky? And what is the inherent meaning of these houses? Let us take a view on this. In this picture, you can see there is a yellow line where one side you can see west and another side you can see east. And then one first house, which is the constellation in the east, which is rising, and the seventh house, which is the constellation in the west, which is setting. Just above this house, we have 12th house, 11th house, and top of the sky, just above our head, it is 10th house, then it is 9th house, 8th house, and then 7th house, which is setting in the west. The other side, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house, and sixth house. At the time of birth, these houses are not seen. This is the other side of the earth, it is there. So, your first to sixth house is invisible hub, and 7th to 12th is your visible hub. That is how the houses are. You represent these houses in terms of some charts, be it the South Indian chart, be it the North Indian diamond chart, or East Indian chart, which is a sun chart. You represent. If time permits, in upcoming series, I will tell you what these things are more precisely. Many of you already know all these things. Now, today I am going to tell you what is the meaning of these houses are. Suppose you have first house, Pisces. Now, Pisces, it means at the time of birth, Pisces was in the east horizon rising. In the 7th house to it becomes Virgo, and that time 7th house Virgo was setting in the west. And 10th house must be Sagittarius, which was just top of your head when you were born. That is the meaning of the houses in astrology. Now I come to more precise thing, the inherent meaning to it. First house represents your physical body, your complexion, your appearance, most importantly your brain, and intelligence. Intelligence also seen from the 5th house. Your strength should be seen always from the first house. The level of energy you are having, the fame should be seen, the abilities, recognition, it always represent 5th, 10th, and first house. This all three houses should be seen. The success also should be seen from the 10th house as well as from the first house. Second house represents your wealth, the relations with your family members. If you have second house, some malefic planets, you may go away from them, from your family, though your family member relations must be cordial, but you go away from your family. That can be happen if your second house you have a malefic. You represent speech through second house, eyes through second house, your mouth, face, voice, and what kind of food you love, that is represented by second house. The training you have undergone, that also represent your second house. Many people also represent basic education from your second house due to this reason. Education should be seen from fifth and ninth house actually, but many people also represent fourth house and second house also for calculation of education to your life. But fifth and ninth are the houses which I will tell you in upcoming minutes. Third house, your younger siblings who are younger to you, those siblings are represented by third house. Your courage. The kind of planet sitting in the third house represent the courage you have. More malefic planet generally in the third house represent you have more courage. The communication skills, what kind of planets they are. If you have Venus, Mercury at third house, you have excellent communication. Creative expressions, though creativity should be seen from the fifth house itself, but creative expressions, how you express your creativity, that can be seen from the third house. Your throat, ear and arms should be seen from the third house. The stresses to your father, maybe also death, since seventh from ninth house is third house, it can be seen that too. Expenditure on a vehicle and house, because fourth house represent houses and vehicles. You can see expenditure, all these things from these houses. Short distance travel also seen from the third house. Fourth house is your mother. Fourth house vehicles. Fourth house your house, lands, fixed assets, motherland, wealth from real estate. The happiness, mental peace, comforts, pleasures, state of mind. How pure your heart is, that is represented by fourth house. Fifth house, the children you have or disciple you are going to have, what kind of a past good deeds you have done, the intelligence, knowledge, scholarship, devotion and mantras. Actually, if you learn more astrology, when I talk about Arudhapadas, this will make more sense to it, but still fifth house also represent all these things itself, the bhava, fifth bhava. Ability should be checked from the fifth house. Actually, ability can be checked from the first house too, and more elaborately the abilities should be checked from D9 chart or Navangsha chart, which is the much deeper and smaller precise measurement of the ninth house. Your stomach and digestive system can be checked from the fifth house. Authority, power, fame should be checked from the fifth house. Love, affection, emotion, if you have a love affair, whether you have a love marriage, you have to check from the seventh and fifth house. Speculation and your education, that should be checked from the fifth house. Sixth house represent your enemies, your competitors, service and servants, your relatives, your mental tension, injuries, health diseases, accidents, mental afflictions. Seventh house, your marriage and marital life, life partner, sex, passion, long journeys. partners, business, death. Death to be checked from second and seventh house. But you should remember third and eighth house are the houses of longevity. So death should be checked from third, eighth house too. So for death, seventh, second, third, and eighth house are most important. The portion of the body below navel is also represented by seventh house. Eighth house represents longevity other than third house. It also represents debts, diseases, ill fame, secrets, inheritance, unearned wealth which you get inherited, which you didn't earn actually. Occult knowledge like astrology, like mantra, tantra, all these things you learned from eighth house, how your eighth lord and eighth house is placed. The evils in your life, the gifts, disgrace, and the genitals are represented by eighth house. Ninth house is the house of fortune. Your father, your teacher, your guide or boss, your religiousness, spirituality, and the God. Higher studies, higher knowledge, like you do higher learning by your spiritual means, or you do PhD, or any more learning you do higher standard, that is represented by ninth house. Fortune in the foreign land, foreign trips also represented by seventh and 12th house too. You take diksha or a mantra from guru, that is the mantra is represented by fifth house, but diksha, the different procedure, is represented by ninth house. The morality is represented by ninth house. The grandchildren, principles, dharma, as I said, morality, this is represented by ninth house. The intuition, sympathy, and charity you do, that is represented by ninth house. The leadership and thigh portion of the body is represented by ninth house. 10th house represents your profession, career, karma you do, whatever you work in the society, the fame, the honors, the rewards, the dignity you have, and the body portion knee is represented by 10th house. 11th house represent your elder siblings because it is 3 from backwards. Third house is your siblings, younger siblings, and backwards third house is 11th house from the first house, that is your elder siblings. The income you get, income represented by second house too because it represents wealth. The gains in your life, the ankles are represented by the 11th house. 12th house represent losses, expenditure, punishment, imprisonment, hospitalization, the bed pleasures, misfortunes, and bad habits. So it is very important house, 12th house, we ignore because our many bad and good things are associated with this house. It represents the kind of sleep you are going to get, how you meditate, how you donate, your secret enemies, the places you go after death, like heaven, your feet, your residence away from your birth, and the emancipation or liberation, which we call moksha. These all things are represented by 12th house. The planets which are in these houses, let's say your ninth house, you have a planet debilitated. You will find difficult to get a good guru in this condition. May get bad fortune too. If the Lord of the ninth house is debilitated, you will definitely get bad fortune or bad guru. That is how it is. So planets which are sitting in this constellation, which I mentioned earlier, and which the lords, there are lords in this, where they are placed and how well they are placed, whether they are afflicted, that determines the entire this scenario. This is what I represented today, the 12 houses and the meaning of these 12 houses. If you know more than this, it is good. But the basic things I represented today to make you understand what is the basic structure of 12 houses in the sky and what is the inherent meaning of these things. Thanks for listening to my lecture. If you like my presentation, you subscribe my channel. I'm going to give you much more in-depth information in upcoming lectures. Once again, thanks for watching this video.